Hi, this is Vicky from Learning Home Volunteers, and welcome back to our fairy tale learning session. And this week we're going to be reading Elves in the Shoemaker. Elves are tiny little creatures that are quick and secretive. They find ways to help in the world, and in this story, they're going to be helping a shoemaker make a shoe by helping him sew those shoes. We learned last week how hard sewing can be to sew. So having the help of an elf would certainly make things easier. This session, we're also going to do some more shoe activities. Now, let me show you. This is activity number 5. They're actually going to design a shoe. And in your box, you're going to find in the bag number 5, a shoe that you can customize to your style. We provided little pieces of cloth to decorate the shoe. You can use crayons, markers, um, whatever you like to do there. Here is what I did with mine. Stunning, right? This is activity number 6, and in your box, you're going to find a piece of paper looking like this. This is a great way to introduce some specialty words around shoes. We have slippers and sandals and boots and sneakers and loafers and slip-ons and cleats and crocs and flats and heels and wedges. Oh my God, the list can go on for a long. But counting and classifying are really important mathematical skills. You can group them by laces or not laces, or colors, or by the type of the shoe, or by the owner of the shoe, or the length of the shoe. Oh, so many different ways you can group and count them. And this sheet is just the start of the work that you can do there. So tell us, how many different types of shoes are there in your home? Well, let's move on to our next activity. Well, I learned to tie my shoes with laces and a lace board that looks like what our volunteers have made for your child. Laces that are the shoe is already basically laced with just one thing, and most children learn to tie their shoes around 5 or 6. Nowadays, we have the Velcro tie shoes, and this average has kind of gone up. But it doesn't mean that they can't put the laces in. So if your child is young, just have them put the laces up and down the shoe. For those that are actually ready to work through teaching your child how to teach the shoe, I think the easiest way is called the bunny ear method. So let's listen and watch and see how that goes.
Hey guys, I am going to show you how to tie your shoes using the bunny ear method. First, you want to grab both laces and make an X. The back lace goes around the front lace and pull it tight. Next, you want to make 2 bunny ears. Some tips I like to tell people are you want to grab nice and low, close to the knot, and leave 2 tails, because bunnies have tails. Next, you want to make an X with the bunny ears. The hardest part about this step is pinching it with one hand right where it crosses, so you can hold it with one hand, and the other hand will now bring the back bunny ear around the front and pull it tight. That's all there is to it.
Well, that was amazing, and hopefully it'll be something that'll help out. There are lots of YouTube videos that have different methods for tying shoes if you want to be able to use those. This one is the video for using the bunny hole method of tying your shoes. Let's take a look at that.
So today we're going to practice tying our shoelaces. What I want you to do first is take your shoe off and place it in front of you like this. So it's like as if you're putting it on your foot, but we're going to practice it first so you know the steps before you put the shoe on. So first thing I want you to do is open out your laces so one is on either side. You're going to come in underneath your laces and you're going to pinch it with your thumb on the top, nice and close to the shoe. So not down here at the end, nice and close to the shoe. Once you're pinching there, what I want you to do is pull out so your laces are nice and tight. So you pinch it and you pull out. That's our first step. Our next step is to cross the laces across each other to make an X. See the X on the front? Now I'm going to pinch that X right between the two laces with one hand, and then I'm going to get the lace that's at the front, pass it underneath our X and grab it on the other side. Now you can let go of your pinch, grab the other lace and pull out. Excellent! You've done the next step. So if you haven't mastered this step, I want you to keep practicing it until you get it, and then you can move on to our next step. So our next step is we're going to lift the lace with one hand, push the lace in the middle with the other hand, and then pinch. So I'm going to show you that again to make your bunny ear. We're going to lift with one hand, push not at the end, in the middle, and then pinch. Now you have one of your bunny ears. Next, what I want you to do is get your other lace and wrap it around the bunny ear on top of your fingers and let it go. Now I want you to find this hole that's here beside this bunny ear. You're going to get the top of your lace and push it through so it's starting to peep out. This hand that's free is going to hold this bunny ear, and your other hand is going to hold this bunny ear. When I say go, we pull it out. Oh, well done. You have just tied your laces. Now I have got very little string lace here, so I'm going to pull that out a little bit. So I've got a bit of space. Now we're going to do our double knot. This is important so our laces don't open. So you're going to get your two bunny ears and you're going to give another little pull to make it nice and tight. So not a big long pull, just a short, tight pull. Now what I want you to do is get your two bunny ears. You put one bunny ear in front of the other to make your X again. And you do the same as the start. You pass the bunny ear underneath and you grab it on the other side and you pull it tight. Then you have your double knot. So I want you to work your way through each step until you've it mastered. When you're opening your lace, you want to get this part on the top of the lace and keep pulling it until it frees that knot. When that knot is open, grab your two laces on these parts and pull out to open it out. Then all you have to do is free the two laces. So I'm going to go through each of the steps again. Step 1. Pinch the laces. So today we're going to practice tying our shoelaces.
Well, she did great. Nice, easy explanation. Another way to approach the problem. This is activity number 8, and I thought it would be fun if we actually grow our own bean stack. I have to say it was magical to hear about using the magical beans to create a beanstalk that takes you up to a castle in the sky. But growing regular beans is just as magical, and your children will get to witness that magic that normally happens underground. So we provided a cup and some paper towels and some cotton balls and some beans. So first you want to fill your cup with paper towels, dampen your cotton balls, and then put your bean on the cotton ball itself. And put the cotton ball down the side of the cup so you can see the bean from the outside like shown in the picture. You want to put this cup near the window so it gets sunlight. And then the magic begins, to see what happens with the beans over time. You want to keep those paper towels damp, not wet, but damp. But look, we see on the very second day, it's starting to sprout, and then it starts getting bigger. And then by day 8, we actually have a sprout coming right out of the jar itself, which is magic. And until you actually have your own beanstalk, don't worry, no giants will appear. But how cool is that to actually have your beans show up themselves? Well, that's all for this week. We'll see you next week.